Is it recording?
Yeah.
No, I'm blessed.
No. Oh, yeah, let's cut that out.
What are the obstacles you face in the gospel market? Because I'm assuming that you might face stuff like if people maybe see you out somewhere in a certain environment and they're like, but ain't you a gospel artist? Or maybe, I don't know, it could be something dumb like you're in your car and what's it called again? Secular music is playing in the background and someone's like, wait, hold on, you're gospel. Like, what do you face in terms of your music, in terms of when you make it?
Yeah. I think one of the main things that a lot of artists struggle with is, so back in the day, when we're making like grime music, people are like, you can't make gospel grime. Because grime is synonymous with violence, XYZ. So that was a big issue back in the day. I think also again now, also as well, like we can't do fraud to support gospel music. Do you know what I mean? As in
to buy your equipment and that?
No, to even finance it. Like the average rapper coming up might be doing the madness to fund what they're doing. And even non-music stuff kind of thing. So the funding to get that is an obstacle. And again, I remember also back in the day, and even sometimes now, is how gospel is your content. So you could rap about a madness or whatever and slip some Jesus in it. And people are like, oh, that's not gospel enough. Or so for the church, yeah, so it's like, how many times did you say Jesus in that song or whatever? So I think even now people are trying to toe the line where it's like, I'm a Christian who happens to make music, or am I an artist that wants to make Christian music? And I think as human beings, we're multifaceted and multi-layered. So every human likes a bit of ratchetness and righteousness. And I think you have to be able to convey a message in a way that it doesn't sound the same.
Ticks both boxes.
Because how many times can you rap John 3:16 on a song? So you have to talk about life. In essence, Christianity is about life. Now, how does your faith and what you ascribe to navigate? How do you navigate life via that? So I can write a love song and I can slip in a verse or how my faith helps to navigate that. So that's really how it works, in my opinion.
How do you feel about, because I can't remember who it was. Like, for example, Kanye West is doing Kanye all year. R. Kelly is doing R. Kelly all year. Then R. Kelly drops a Christian album. It goes #1 in the Christian charts. Kanye drops Jesus is King, #1 in the gospel charts. How do you feel about stuff like that? Because I don't know if certain people in the church would be like, nah, this is not fair because yous lot ain't really, although God is judgment and whatever, yous lot are not living this life. You can't just dip in and out of our charts when you want to, when it suits you. Like, or do you just think, boy, it is what it is. They can do what they want. And how do you feel about that?
Two things. Kanye West has been like #1 on the gospel charts for like 3-4 years, which is like great but annoying because no one is doing Kanye numbers in the Christian field. So if you release an album, the best you're getting is #2, which is annoying. Yeah, the best you get is #2. Yeah. The good side though is that people who wouldn't typically enjoy or listen to Christian music or faith-based music are now getting that via Kanye. And is it Sunday service choir? Yeah. And I think that's sick because you're able to give a positive message to an audience who would typically not want to hear that, who would not want to hear that. And even the title of being a gospel artist for me, or Christian artist, or whatever I might be called, is that I'm not into Sikhism or whatever. So if you say, yeah, I'm a Sikh rapper, I'm going to think, am I going to listen to that? So similar with people saying, oh, I'm a gospel artist, like, I'm not really into the God thing right now. However, if you listen to it, it's like, right, like, this guy's got
like,
punchlines and
sonically,
metaphors.
you're like, I enjoyed this.
Yeah. So I'm happy that people like Kanye or Chance or even Stormzy or Snoop has a gospel album.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Snoop has a gospel album.
I had a Rastafarian thing. That's what it's Rasta thing.
Is it something love or whatever?
Snoop Lion or something.
Snoop Lion, no, that's something else. He just reinvents himself all the time. Yeah, so I think the plus side of it is that he does all of that. But one thing about faith in America is that a lot of them play church, in inverted commas for those who can't see this, in which like you do a madness every day, but on Sunday you go to cleanse your sins. And that's why you would have artists win a Grammy and be like, oh, I want to thank God for this album, but the whole album is on smoke. And it's anti-God.
It's all shooting man in the face.
Yeah, and you're thanking God
like
for that.
God
God ain't in that, bro.
God is like,
Yeah. So that's the only kind of issue, and it kind of gives distorted message as to what do you really rap what you live. It's a bit like rappers today. You know, you listen to a guy rapping about shooting something, like, you're not about that life kind of thing. And I think with faith-based music, it's a bit like that.
We're going to dabble into some uncharted territories.
1 second,
right
I was
now.
going to say something that, sorry to cut you off. I thought it was pretty cool what you said when, certain types of people start to listen to gospel. Because for me, even then, it was like, when I was listening to that album, I would see when the Kanye album came out, people were like, I can't relate to it, so why would I listen to it? Then I was like, what? How can you relate to music about shooting people in the face? But you enjoy that. You've never shot no one in the face. You know what I mean? You've never sold drugs. You know what I mean? You ain't had 100 hoes. You know what I mean? So how can you relate to that? But you enjoy it.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? And that's literally where it was for me. Some people can relate better than some. But I'm not going to say what part he can relate to, but But I was like, yeah. When I was listening to that, I was like, yeah. You know what I mean? I can't say, this isn't for me, or because I don't believe in X, Y, Z, because I really don't believe in shooting people. You know what I mean? That's a fact. I don't believe in trapping.
I had the same talk with someone else the other day, and they were like, something about city girls and a lot of these girls rapping and not living what they talk. I said, brother, dreams and nightmares.
We don't live that.
Oh, the mar my wrist bust down. Bear man rap that bit. You ain't even got to watch. I said, so at the end of the day, we're all saying lyrics that
we can't relate to.
Even in Walk in the Park, half of the crowd all snorting my Charlie. Everyone, no, you never. Most people never sold drugs.
Do you know what's funny about?
In fact, you are the customer.
Do you know
or the kitty.
Do you know what's funny about the whole?